Welcome to Immigration Insights with Amir Ismail, the podcast where we simplify Canadian immigration news and help you stay informed about the latest updates. I'm Amir Ismail, your host, and a licensed immigration consultant with over 30 years of experience helping individuals and families achieve their dreams of moving to Canada. Today, we are talking about some significant changes to Canada's open work permit program for family members of temporary residents. These changes, which will take effect on January 21st, 2025, have raised questions and concerns, especially for those who plan to bring their spouses and children to Canada while they work or study. Let's dive in. So, what's behind these changes? The Canadian government is rethinking its policies to balance economic priorities with housing and affordability concerns. Essentially, they want to ensure that temporary residents coming to Canada are filling critical labor market gaps while addressing the pressure on housing and other resources. One of the key shifts is that the eligibility for family members, spouses, common law partners, and dependent children to apply for an open work permit or OWP has become much more restrictive. Let's talk about international students first. Previously, if you were an international student in Canada, your spouse could apply for an open work permit regardless of the program you were enrolled in. That's no longer the case. Now, only spouses of students in specific programs are eligible. For example, if you're pursuing a master's degree that is at least 16 months long, a doctoral program, or professional programs like medicine, law, nursing, or engineering, your spouse may still qualify for an OWP. If you're enrolled in a short program or one that isn't in these categories, your spouse may not be eligible anymore. Now, let's look at foreign workers. Spouses of foreign workers are also facing tighter restrictions. They're only eligible for an OWP if the principal applicant, the foreign worker, has a job in a specific category. These include high skill roles in Tier O and Tier 1 categories, and some jobs in Tier 2 and 3 occupations in key sectors like healthcare, construction, and education. There is another important detail here. The foreign worker's work permit must have at least 16 months of validity remaining at the time of the OWP application. And for dependent children, unfortunately, they're no longer eligible for open work permits under these new rules. So, what about existing permits? What if you or your family members already have an open work permit? The good news is that those permits remain valid. And if you need to renew them, you can still apply as long as your current work permit aligns with the new eligibility criteria and the principal applicant's permit is still valid. So let's talk about exemptions and alternatives. There are some exemptions to these changes. For example, if you're covered by a free trade agreement or you're in Canada with a pending permanent residency application under the Spousal Open Work Permit program, you're not affected by these updates. But what about those who no longer qualify for a family OWP? One option is applying for an employer specific work permit. However, unlike an open work permit, this ties to a single employer and doesn't offer the same flexibility. So these are my final thoughts. These changes might seem daunting, but they are part of Canada's effort to address pressing economic and social challenges. If you're affected by these updates, the key is to stay informed and explore your options. As always, seeking advice from a licensed immigration consultant can make all the difference. A professional can help you understand these changes and guide you toward the best solution for your unique situation. That's it for today's episode of Immigration Insights with Amir Ismail. I hope this breakdown of the new open work permit rules was helpful. If you have questions or needs personalized immigration advice, feel free to reach out. You can schedule a consultation at amirismail.com. For more updates, follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or TikTok. You'll find all my contact details in the show notes below. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.